our perfect classes. In this class, I will discuss only about operating system. This subject is important for GATE exam, UGC exam, any competitive exam. Important topics for any competitive exam: process management. In process management, we will learn process states, process transition, in which we learn new, ready, running, waiting, terminated states. Then we learn process control block, then thread versus process. Then we learn about context switching, and we will learn how to calculate overhead and cost of context switching. And after that we will learn interprocess communication, and in interprocess communication we will learn how to message passing and how to share memory. Then after we will learn multi-threading models, user versus kernel threads, and after that CPU scheduling criteria, throughput, turnaround time, and response time, how to calculate these values, algorithms, how to use first come first serve, shortest job first, preemptive, non-preemptive, round robin, priority, multi-level queue, and how to calculate Gantt chart. And after that how to use starvation and aging techniques. These topics are very important for the GATE, UGC exam, any competitive exam, or any university exam. Then we will learn about deadlocks. What are the conditions of deadlock? What resources allocated for deadlock? Deadlock handling, how to handle deadlock, prevention, avoidance, Banker's algorithm, detection, recovery. All these things we will learn in my videos. And after that you will learn memory management. In memory management you will learn address binding, compile time, load time, what is run time, and after that contiguous allocation, fragmentation, internal, external, paging and segmentation. In paging and segmentation we will learn how to calculate page tables, multi-level paging, virtual memory, demand paging, page faults, working setup, page replacement algorithm, in which we will learn how to use FIFO, optimal, LRU, clock methods, clock algorithms, what is the thrashing and locality of references. After that we will learn file system, file attributes, operations, directory structures. In directory structure we will learn single level directory structure, tree, cyclic and graph, etc. File allocation methods, contiguous, linked and indexed, free space management, generalizing and consistency. And then we will learn input output system, device drivers, controllers, interrupt handling, disk scheduling algorithm. And disk scheduling algorithm we will learn first come first serve, SSTF, scan, C scan, look, C look, etc. C scan, and RAID levels and reliability. Concurrency and synchronization, critical section problem, synchronization primitives, mutex, semaphore, monitors, classical problems, producer, consumer, readers, writers, dining, philosophers, race conditions and automicity, and system calls and operating OS services. And types of the system calls, process control, file manipulation, device management, mode switching, user mode to kernel mode, how to shift user mode to kernel mode and kernel mode to user mode. And after that we will learn about security and protection. In security and protection we will learn about access control. In access control we will learn ACL capabilities, authentication techniques, OS level security policies, protection domains. After that we will learn some advanced concepts of which are used high level for GATE and NET exam. Kernel architectures, monolithic, microkernel, hybrid, distributed operating system, basics, transparency, RPC, real-time operating system versus general purpose operating system, Linux, Unix commands, shell basics, Windows versus Linux design philosophies, and virtualization and containers, VMS and hyper-V visas, etc. And these are the most important topics which we will learn in operating system for the GATE exam, UGC exam, or any other exam. Now first I will start from process management. In process management, first topic is process state and transition. In process states, there are five types of mainly states. First is new. In a new operating system is creating the process, and second state is ready. In ready state, process has all resources except CPU waiting in ready queue, and in running state, instructions are being executed on the CPU, and in waiting, you can either you can block or you can resume. Process cannot proceed until an event input output completes. Terminated means execution finished, and process control block will be deallocated. These are the five states. And transition means new to ready, admitted, ready to running state, CPU scheduler picks it, running to ready state, preemption or time slice over method is used. Running to waiting state, we will use input output request. Waiting to ready state, we also use input output done. And running to terminated state, we will exit. And this is the diagram state transition. You can see here, first stage is start, and after that we will go to ready state, and after ready state we will go to either run state through the scheduler or dispatcher, and after that we will complete work and terminate, or after the running state we will go to again ready state, or you can go to wait or block state, and from wait or block state again you can go to ready state, or from ready state you can after some time you can suspend ready, or again go to ready state. And on the other side, from wait or block state, we will go into suspend or suspend state, either after waiting some time, then again resume to go to waiting state, and go to then ready state, and from suspend state again suspend wait state to go to suspend ready state. You can see this is the state transition diagram. And new to ready, ready to run schedule, and dispatch method is used. Run to terminate completion method, and run to wait or blocks state, we will use input output requester, and after that and wait or block state to ready state, we will use input output completion state, and from run to ready directly we use priority or time quantum state method, and wait or block state to wait, suspend to wait state, when you after waiting the some time you will go to suspend or wait state, and again some time after some time you will go again resume and go to wait or block state, and then go to ready state, and in suspend wait state, from input output completed but still in suspend, then go to into suspend ready state, and after that some time resume, and then go to ready state. From ready state we will go to directly into suspend ready state, and this process will be go to till process will be reached to terminate state. Now next is a process control block. Process control, what is a process control block? It is a data structure, it is a data structure, the operating system which maintains for every process. In process control block we will see what is a process ID, What is process counter? CPU register, CPU scheduling information, priority, queue, pointer, etc. Memory management information, base or limit, page tables, accounting information, CPU time, process state, input output status, open files and devices, etc. And after that, what are the difference between thread and versus process? Address space, in process separate addresses used, in thread shared within a process. Overhead, process in process overhead is high and on PCB memory etc, but in a thread overhead will be low because it share the resources. Creation cost, in process it is very expensive and in thread is very cheaper. Failure isolation, process is better because crash does not kill others, but thread is weaker because thread crash can bring down the process. Communication, process use the IPC needed, and thread directly communicate because it use the common memory. Threads are the lightweight processes which sharing the same code and data. Next is a context switching, overheads and cost. What is context switching? It's saving the state, register, PC, stack of a running processes, and it loading the state of another. Why we need the context switching? Because it is needed for multitasking and preemption. Overheads, the time spent saving, restoring register, flushing CPU pipelines, updating caches, switching to the kernel mode. These are have a more overheads, and cost factor, number of register, frequency of switches and cache invalidation. Context switch time is pure overhead, and it does no useful work. And next is a interprocess communication. In interprocess communication, we pass the messages. Send or receive primitives. It is easier in distributed system. It may be synchronous or blocking or asynchronous. Shared memory. Interprocess communication is a reason which mapped into address space of the processes, and it is very faster because no kernel involvement for every transfer. It needs synchronization, semaphores and mutex, and compare message passing with the shared memory speed versus complexity. Multi-threading models. Multi-threading models uses the user level threads, thread library in user space, operating system kernel unaware of threads, fast switching, but blocking system call stops all the threads. Kernel level threads managed by the operating system kernel, due concurrency on the multiprocessors, slower to create a switch. Hybrid or many to many, multiple ULT mapped to equal or fewer KLT, flexibility, kernel switch scheduling. Remember, you should be keep in mind one-to-one windows and n-to-one green threads, many-to-many solves. And this is the mind map of process management. First of all, you have to create a process states and transition. In process state and transition, we will start from new and then go to ready or running state. Either you ready or running state, and then waiting and then stop. Then after that we will go to process control block. In process control block, process ID, PC register, scheduling information, memory information, accounting input output status, we will learn. And then context switching. In context switching, we will learn how to save, how to restore state, and how to calculate overhead and cost. In interprocess communication, we will learn how to pass the messages, and how to it is easier in distributed system, and how to share the memory, and how it is faster and but require the synchronization. And on the other side, we will learn thread versus process, address space, separate, overhead, low on memory, failure, isolation, and better resources. Multi-threading models, we will learn user level ULT, kernel level, and hybrid flexibility. This is the process management's mind map. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, like to my channel, and share my video with your friends so that they can take benefit